You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about something that I'm surprised didn't happen at some point this year, but looks like it could be coming for the 2026 season. And that is the unretiring and return of Derek Carr. All right, Derek Carr decided to retire, banged up shoulder, yada, yada, yada. Saints, by the way, still do hold his rights. So I don't know how that would work out. It could be a little trade, whatever they decided, but he's now healthy again and could be a viable option for a team. Now, a couple of teams right off the bat that I can think of: Pittsburgh Steelers, Atlanta Falcons, if they decide to move on from Kirk Cousins, which why they would do that when Kevin Stefanski is directly, has direct coaching history with Kirk Cousins, I don't know. To me, that one doesn't make sense. I would think those two would be together, but Derek Carr maybe there if Michael Penix looks like he's not going to be a guy or can't come back and is not healthy. And the Vikings would be another one, Kevin O'Connell. And then there's the Raiders. And you may be thinking, well, wait a minute, Rhodes, they're going to take Fernando Mendoza. They are. But there is a sentiment out there among a lot of draft pundits that it couldn't hurt Fernando Mendoza to sit a little while. All right. Even if it's just 6 games, 8 games, it would give Derek Carr the potential to retire as a Raider. Maybe they bring him back as a backup. But there is a direct relationship right here between Clint Kubiak, who's now the Raiders coach. He was the offensive coordinator for Derek Carr in 2024 with the Saints. So Derek absolutely knows that offense. And this morning, an intriguing quarterback option to watch this offseason, as Derek Carr could unretire for the right situation and coaching staff. Per Insiders. Let's go. They wrote an article about this. So, a few months ago, when asked about coming out of retirement, Derek Carr said he would never say never, because I've learned that when I say never, it usually happens. Well, it just might happen. As quarterback injuries mounted this season and into the playoffs, teams conducted due diligence on Derek Carr, trying to gather information as to whether the former Saints franchise passer would consider coming out of retirement, sources tell the Insiders. The Bengals, for instance, contacted Derek Carr after Joe Burrow went down with turf toe. That work continues, and an off-season quarterback uncertainty with limited options in free agencies, trades, and the draft make Carr a possible solution in the right situation. The Saints still hold Carr's rights, though Tyler Shuck's impressive rookie season, the accommodable end to Carr's time in New Orleans, the way the sides worked through any salary cap issues, add up to told contract being unlikely hurdled in the process. The Saints could ask for compensation in a trade, though the price surely wouldn't be unreasonable ask for a player who has no future in New Orleans. Carr decided to retire last May due to a labrum tear in his shoulder and damage to his rotator cuff, which he could have been repaired via surgery, but would have put his season in jeopardy. Since then, Carr took several months off to rest, and sources say his shoulder has responded well, leading Carr to slowly begin rehabbing. As the season unfolded, his shoulder is now improved to the point where he is throwing fully as part of a regular exercise routine. Teams have learned Derek Carr currently has no shoulder limitations. By the way, it goes on to bring up Clint Kubiak. So that's interesting. This is PFF's graded quarterbacks from 2024 when Derek Carr last played. Guys, believe it or not, number 7. He was a number 7 graded out quarterback above Patrick Mahomes in 2024. Now, he only played 10 games. All right. But when he was on the field, threw 15 touchdowns, had 5 picks. So that's interesting. Let's just go over a little look at the career scenario. He's 34, 41,000 yards, 65% completion, 257 touchdowns, 112 picks. So that's interesting. Again, I could see him, teaming up with one of these quarterback gurus I will say this, if Matthew Stafford had retired, I could have seen Sean McVay glancing at Derek Carr. Kevin O'Connell, this makes a lot of sense for the Minnesota Vikings. If Aaron Rodgers does not come back to the Steelers, it makes a ton of sense. Because I think Kevin O'Connell and Mike McCarthy, honestly, especially Mike McCarthy, considering some of the seasons of Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott, who, frankly, Derek Carr and Dak Prescott has some traits that sort of remind me of both of them. It's an interesting scenario. It is. Now, he's taking a year off, and I would be somewhat concerned with the fact that he didn't have surgery and get that rotator cuff repaired. Now, can they heal on their own? Yeah, I've had this one operated on back in 1997 or 96 or 97. I can't remember now. But they can repair on their own. Depends on how bad they are. The torn labrum, by the way, same kind of thing that knocked Baker Mayfield down. In his last season with the Browns, he tried to play through it. It was a disaster, and the Browns moved off of him. Well, we found out that was sort of a mistake for the Browns. They should have just, number one, they shouldn't have let Baker play, and number two, should have let him healed up and taken the field the next year. He'd probably still be a Brown right now. But in a league where the free agency options, make you want to puke, Derek Carr becomes viable real fast. I mean, I'm sorry if you ask me, do you want Tua or you want Derek Carr? I'm taking Derek Carr. Now, Tua is younger, but, I mean, if you sign Tua, he's not going to be there for 5 years, wherever he goes. And I say sign him, you'd have to trade for him, but you get my point. Cardinals might look at Derek Carr. There's absolutely valid scenarios out there for him to decide to come back if he wants to play. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Tell me what you think. Some people will be like, oh, good. Rhodes finally gets to talk about Derek Carr coming back again. I like Derek Carr. I do. So it is what it is. I think he's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. But I know one thing. He was good as best he could be and good for some Raiders teams that wasn't very good around him at all. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.